last year studying abroad. In the fall, I was with the School for International Training in Madagascar, and in the spring, I was at the Political Science Institute in Paris. For me, the most amazing part of the trip was really getting to interact daily with people who live in a culture that's just so different from us. This program was conservation and ecology, and so we were spending a lot of time in national parks and interviewing some of the locals who had recently been kicked off of their land so that they could make these new protected areas. And it was fascinating getting a perspective that you don't ever see really in like an academic article that you might be reading for a poli-sci class. So I took 7 local kids from the area we were staying in, southern Madagascar, to a national park. And we were there for 4 days and just sort of did the things that a lot of tourists would do if they were to go visit the park. We went on a lot of the walks, we learned a lot about the plants and animals, we swam in some gorgeous natural pools. Malagasy people don't have a lot of opportunities to get into their own national parks because they're pretty expensive to have access to. So it's really turned into like, conservation is so big there, but it's turned into, we're going to conserve these areas pretty much for like tourists to come in and see. And so I think it's sort of almost disconnected a lot of the people there from their environment. And so we spent 6 weeks in Dauphin, which is on the southern tip of Madagascar, right on the coast. And then for a week we went off sort of we drove through rural Madagascar and ended up at a little town right on still on the southern coast. And we split up into groups of 2 and went into what we were told were going to be just like small rural villages. And it turned out when I got to my rural village, it was 3 houses, which, 2 parents and 4 kids living in a house that's 6 feet by 8 feet. It's absolutely tiny, but they wake up every day and just like wake up at dawn. It's so beautiful. They go out, they spend all day fishing, and like you have to. I walked with our homestay dad in that village for 2 miles to go get firewood, and like that's what they have to do every couple of days. You have to walk down the beach to go to a well and pull water up every day. And so it seems like on the surface the first couple of days I was there, it's like, wow, this lifestyle, it's like so impossible. It's like, how can you live like this? But then you realize they have such a blast. They really, they have so much time with families. We spent lots of time dancing and singing, and just like, even just the sort of the daily work is like to go out for a swim to catch fish. It's not like going out in a big fishing vessel. It's you swim out, you put some nets out, you swim around and splash the water and like try and scare the fish into the nets. And I'm sure I'm romanticizing and idealizing it a little bit, and probably if I was there long enough, I'm sure it would get to be really stressful. But they seemed to have sort of like a passion and just an excitement for like their everyday life that was a little bit surprising for me, and just, yeah, it was a great experience.